SashMash!
Everyone knows that Hunter x Hunter is one of the most badass anime to air in the past decade. Filled with plenty of badass characters, badass music, and badass fights, this show has truly redefined what it means to be badass for the modern era. One of the most badass characters in the show is, of course, the young ex-assassin Killua. So welcome, dudes and bros. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe buttons before we take you through our finely curated, mostly in order list of his most badass moments.
Starting off with number 10, Utensil Utilizer. What better way to assert your dominance than by disrespecting God in front of your dinner host? Not only did Killua talk during pre-meal thanks, but he also had the audacity to do so with a fork in his mouth.
何これ?
Talk about overpowered characters in anime. In this badass scene, we see Killua become the physical embodiment of no pain, no gain. In fact, he must have trained for years and endured countless hours of torture to refine this delicate skill.
なんだよそれ。じゃ、いただきましょう。
There is no dispute that Killua is indeed the master of forks, eating any and all foods with just this utensil. We have no doubt that his electrical nen ability stemmed from sticking a fork into an outlet one time and totally owning it.
Next up, number 9. Food Challenge Champion. How many YouTubers have you seen attempt and miserably fail at various food challenges? If you've been on the block long enough, then that would be more than one, that's for sure. So imagine our surprise when a food challenge ended successfully. That's exactly the case in episode 61, where Gon and Killua agree to each finish a plate of spaghetti larger than both their heads put together. Killua's tactical thinking also shines through here as he multitasks to save on time by speaking with his mouth full.
やっぱり単なるゲームキャラなんだよ。
やられたね。はい、商品のガルガイだね。
And all this for some ugly fish. Obviously, this means the boys were in it for the certified badass rating and the t-shirt. Nothing more, nothing less.
Number 8, being brutally honest. Honesty is quite hard to come by these days, and the rarer something is, the more badass it is. It is especially admirable that Killua was honest with Gon, as Gon is his first friend, and providing feedback like that creates a certain amount of vulnerability.
たく、どういう体してんだよ。どうよって言われても。お前変。
Thankfully, Gon took this constructive criticism in stride and proceeded to be less weird and more badass throughout the series. That's it, now on to the next badass moment.
7. Mental Math Magician. It is a well-known fact that mental maths proficiency directly correlates with badassery. Thanks to hundreds of hours spent on coolmathsgames.com, Killua displays incredible levels of problem-solving skills. This allowed him to exert dominance over a pair of slightly incestual morants during a game of darts, scoring the last laugh in the end.
なんで脳みそ貫かれて生きてんだてめえ。
9番だよ、タコの。
Killing Machine Killua really set himself up to advance into careers like finance and climb the capitalist ladder to eventually run the world from less murdery shadows.
Number 6, trespassing without getting shot. Killua adds to his long list of crimes by misusing his esteemed status of hunter to gain access to an adult establishment while being literally not an adult. His outfit is topped off with Leorio's spare badass glasses, and, in fact, he likely could have walked onto a runway and not looked out of place. This, combined with his overwhelming confidence, even made the bouncer tremble in fear at Killua's badass appearance. The iconic line,
でもさ、こう見えても20歳なのよ、俺。
also gave rise to a bunch of memes, adding to the colossal cultural impact of Hunter x Hunter.
嘘じゃねえよ。見てみろ、この身分証。わかったか?
Numero 5. Manipulating the enemy. Killua took a page right out of How to Win Friends and Influence Enemies during his venture into East Gorto when encountering the chimera ant Ikalgo. Killua could not let being a nuisance, Ikal, go easily, so he decided to brainwash the walking street food in waiting into defecting. The first step of any good brainwashing is to break your enemy down, and Killua accomplished exactly that by continuously verbally abusing Ikalgo, as well as chopping off all his legs.
まさか金槌ってオチじゃねえよな。
え、それはその
血だろ。
いえ、あ
水中の連中は血の匂いで興奮しすぎて負傷してる奴は誰彼構わず一斉に攻撃する。
In the end, Killua transformed a cheeky foe into a loyal friend, willing to even die for the good guys, all because of a few morsels of kindness sprinkled into his psychological manipulation.
来れるか、こっちへ。
お前はなんで俺が今一番欲しい言葉がわかるんだ。
It is shown in lore that the power of friendship is the strongest power of all, going even further beyond conventional physical laws. Therefore, we can safely say that Killua was extremely badass for using the strongest power to ever exist so effectively.
Escaping a rogue ally. All that training did not go to waste as Killua risks Gon out of their Airbnb and into the cold night air. Using one arm only is an impressive feat of strength, as Gon must weigh at least 100 kilograms from all the regret he carries about Kite's predicament. He even taunts Palm, who absolutely does not deserve such vicious mockery. What cements this moment's status as badass, though, is the fact that Killua succeeded in his plan of escape, which is more than can be said for Kite. They can later be seen enjoying a casual afternoon tea in a restaurant, so Killua even succeeded in getting a date with Gon as well.
3. Turning rogue on family. What is more badass than turning against one of your allies gone rogue? That's right, turning rogue against your own family. Killua went the extra mile by wishing to capture his own blood relatives to turn them in for some sweet cash money.
ハンターの資格取ったらまずうちの家族とっ捕まえるんだ。その首にかかってる賞金きっと高いぜ。
As Liorio said, money is everything. It can buy you cars, b****s, and a medical school degree, which is one of the most badass degrees out there. See our video on badass degrees. I've no doubt he would even sell his own mother for a grape.
Not last and not least, number 2. Eating chocolate and only chocolate. Living out the childhood dream of millions, Killua's diet at one point consisted largely only of chocolate. Specifically, chocolate robots which may or may not resemble Kinder eggs. Watch out for our upcoming video where we calculate exactly how many he would have eaten per day with his winnings from his first frolic through Heaven's Arena.
190回クラスで勝った時は2億ぐらい貯まってたかな。2億。そのお金は4年前だぜ。残ってるわけねえじゃん。全部お菓子代に消えたっつうの。2億が4年でお菓子代に？どんなお菓子っすか？
This is an extremely impressive feat, as what nutrients he lacked from his cocoa-rich diet must have been obtained from either A. the sun, or B. victory against opponents 4 times his size and age, both of which are very badass forms of sustenance. Constant high sugar levels also significantly increased Killua's brain power, explaining why he is so good at mental maths and other tactical tactics.
Some honourable mentions include
Being a furry, telling Bisky she's a hack, being modest about the skill gap between himself and Gon at Heaven's Arena, picking himself up after breaking down in front of Palm, winning a spelling bee, using eBay, threatening to break Mizuki's figures, teabagging a mass murderer, standing on a horse, and hugging his sister.
And finally, the moment you've been waiting for, the most badass thing that our badass boy has done. Kill the protagonist. The writers for the 99 run of Hunter x Hunter had even less manga to adapt than the 2011 one. So, they needed to find an effective and in-character way to wrap up the show mid-arc, else risk going into filler hell. Unfortunately for Gon, this meant being eliminated as the protagonist by the deuteragonist.
あれだけあればもう十分でしょ？ねえ、返してよ。ちゃんと返して。
How badass is that? Outright removing your main character competition and stealing the spotlight for yourself for future episodes. Careful viewers might have noticed that this was foreshadowed right at the beginning, with Illumi telling Killua he would one day want to kill Gon.
無理だね、お前に友達なんて。できっこないよ。お前は人というものを殺せるか殺せないかでしか判断できない。そう教え込まれたからね。今のお前にはゴンが眩しすぎて測りきれないでいるだけだ。友達になりたいわけじゃない。違う。
Once again, Hunter x Hunter has masterfully subverted our expectations with a power move that is simply off the charts.
So, fellow Hunter x Hunter enjoyers, do you agree with this list? Do you disagree? If you answered yes to either of these, hit the like and subscribe buttons. Doing otherwise would be very not badass.
So until next time,
SashMash out.
Now go!